It's another great day to gamble. I'm so excited. A full college football slate, Major League Baseball in the regular season home stretch, and one guy to give you all the right picks this weekend. Welcome inside our CitrusTV studios. I'm Josh Richardson. It's edition number 3 of Beat the Bookie this semester. But the big question, why should you trust me? Well, I'm a good gambler, plain and simple. I take Adam Avon's money in poker. I take Griffin Bloomstein's money in poker. Griffin, Marcy, Kieran Costa, name anybody, and their money is in my pocket, except for yesterday. Griff's kind of rinsed me out. But overall, check the records, and after this week, you'll see why I'm the best here to win money for Citrus TV. Let's look back at the last 2 weeks. Both anchors, Nico Horning and Arnav Ponkrell, gave it their best shots, but both ended in the red. Tough start for Nico. Arnav last week, big win, Old Dominion over Virginia Tech. That's a good $22, but overall, down 22 and change. Gotta have the over in UMass against Iowa. But then you look at overall, Nico, Arnav, Jared Valentin on the parlay. That didn't do a whole lot else for it. Down $33.18 to start off this semester. Now, obviously, everybody has their future still in play. Only time will tell on that. So maybe it could get a little bit better, but don't count on it. We have to go to me. We have to start off because we've got some big games of the week to cover. 3 ranked matchups that pose big-time implications for conference play and for the start of the college football playoff. Let's start with number 16 Utah against number 17 Texas Tech. Wow, back-to-back in the rankings for these two squads. Noon kickoff for the first Big 12 matchup of the season. To me, Utah feels like a bit of a ticking time bomb. The question just becomes, when will quarterback Devin Dampier throw his first interception of the season? Is this team really that good? The more weeks have gone on, the more time has passed, the worse that UCLA win to start the year looks. For a conference matchup, 3.5 points is just perfect to take the underdog. Win or maybe lose on a field goal. It's going to be a close game either way. Give me the Red Raiders for $10 to cover. Big chance there to grab that in the Big 12. So let's move over to the SEC for number 11 Oklahoma against number 22 Auburn. This one shouldn't really be that close. I really like the Sooners this year. Off to a hot start record-wise. This is the game that quarterback John Mateer shines. He's got 5 touchdowns and 3 picks in the early portion of this season, but now at home, ranked matchup. He's going to turn it around when the lights are the brightest. Plus, this is a guy that was Venmoing his friends as a joke about game picks and spreads. He knows what the line is. Give me the Sooners at -6.5 for another $10. Last game of the week for the big games of the week. 9th ranked Illinois, 19th ranked Indiana. Big 10 matchup. Both of these teams are very good. Don't get me wrong. Why is a top 10 team in the country that heavy underdogs against a conference foe? Big win over Duke for Illinois already this year, and you're telling me that I can get the Fighting Illini at 5.5 plus 5.5 for $10 all day, every day. I love the picks. Big 3 games this week. So let's see what the C-suite has going on compared to what I have. And we're looking at it. I like it. I like it. I like the TTU, Texas Tech. And then it starts to go off the rails a little bit. I love Oklahoma. Production staff doesn't agree with me. Same thing with Illinois and Indiana. But overall, I love where we're at so far. I have faith in my picks. I'm a pretty good college football bettor. And now, while we have to talk about those games, I want to talk about some of my favorite picks. Some of the games that maybe aren't as flashy as what everybody else wants to see when they turn on television to ABC, ESPN, Big 12 Network. Overall, let's go over some of my best bets. Well, I just mentioned Duke, so let's go to the ACC. Blue Devils taking on NC State. Doesn't matter where it is, who's the home team, it's going to feel like a home game for both North Carolina opponents. I think NC State is better, straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Wolfpack money line, yes please, $10 on it, no questions asked. Back to the SEC, Missouri and South Carolina. Gamecocks quarterback Lenora Sellers is questionable after heading into concussion protocol during USC's last game. Whether he plays or not, it's no guarantee he's going to be the Heisman contender that he is at full strength. The rest of the South Carolina quarterback situation is not very good. The offense struggled last week after Sellers exited the game. I'm not very confident in them to take them anything. I'll take Mizzou to cover for $10 big. Earlier this week, No Paul Post Luke Burgess said that Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin should be in Theta Chi. I tend to agree with him. Nothing that he's done since getting that job after leaving Alabama warrants any level of trust in that program. The Rebels are always due for an upset. I'm not even looking for that. Just a pesky Tulane squad to cover a double-digit spread. $5, get it done, guys. And for my last best bet, ACC versus Big 12. SMU and TCU in a battle for Texas. SMU started off this season way below expectations, but this is where you can turn it around. I believe you always have to buy low and you have to sell high. This is a great buy low candidate in SMU. Give me $5 on the Mustangs plus 6.5. Now, here's the big one. We've gone through the games of the week. We've gone through my best bets, and now we'll save the parlay for a little bit, but now it's time to talk about my future. Overall, futures can go pretty good, they can go pretty bad. But I have a lot of faith in mine. And we're going to turn over from the college football season. We're going to go into Major League Baseball. The season is winding down, just 10 days left before the start of the wild card. This is where seasons get won, seasons get lost. Teams can come out in divisions where maybe they're not supposed to. And the best part about it, who's going to win the awards? There's been a lot of discussion on both sides. Who's the AL MVP? Who's the NL MVP? Tarek Skubal versus Garrett Crochet for the AL Cy Young. There's so much still to be decided. But I'm going to focus on the American League Most Valuable Player because I believe in my heart that it should be Seattle Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh. And I will absolutely explain why. Because this is a guy who has had the most historic season and best season that a catcher has ever had in the history of baseball. Most homers by his position. Most homers as a switch hitter. And he has 56 with 9 games remaining. And that is tied for the Seattle Mariner franchise record with one Ken Griffey Jr. The kid. Cal has been the unprecedented best catcher in baseball. His defense isn't up to tune with what it was last season when he won a Platinum Glove, but he is still competent. He is still an above-average defensive catcher, and he does it every single night. Over 75% of his games have come from the catcher position, and while he had a rough stretch at the very end of July, post-All-Star break, and throughout all of August, he's really picked up in September. 4 home runs already. This guy is a machine. 6 home runs. This guy is a machine, and I think it's going to keep up. Now, obviously, the alternate perspective. Well, Aaron Judge is so great. Aaron Judge has won 2 of the last 3. Well, guess what? When you compare the numbers for Aaron Judge this season to the other 2 seasons that Aaron Judge has won MVP, they're not better. They're not. The first time he hit 62 home runs, he broke the AL record. The last year, he hit 58 home runs, and the Yankees were the #1 seed in the entire American League. Well, guess what? Seattle is currently tied for first place in the AL West. If the Mariners win that division, it'll be the first time in 24 years that Seattle has come out of that division. Every other year, missing the playoffs, barely a wild card team. Cal Raleigh has been at the center of that success. If he hits 60 home runs, if the Mariners win the AL West, what more can you say? He is the AL MVP. There's no question about it. Give me $30 on Cal Raleigh to win AL MVP. Let's take a look at what everybody else has for their futures because things can get a little interesting overall. Nothing else is going necessarily according to plan. Austin Barrick, Red Sox to win the AL East. I'm sorry, buddy, but that's not looking very good. Adam Cohen, Mets to win the NL East. Man, that would have been really nice about a couple weeks ago, and then the Mets fell off a cliff. Ian Nicholas, Jeremiah Smith, Heisman. Well, you never know. Still got a chance. Ohio State looks pretty good. Nico Horning, what are we doing? Giants to make a wild card? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. There's going to be no change. And Arnov, ISU Big 12 champs. That could certainly happen. I like that. But overall, Cal Raleigh is going to be where this money comes from. We have to hope that maybe something for the futures can come up. Who's going to end up taking it? Hopefully I will, and hopefully some future anchors can as well, because we need some money here at Citrus TV. We've gone through just about everything. We've done the big bets. We've done the best bets, and we've done my future bet. Now we have to do the parlay. The 4 picks that I'm confident enough to bring together into one big money-making cash out. Let's go take a look. All right, we have to start it off. Give me Michigan. Go Blue, baby. I don't care that an 18-year-old Bryce Underwood is heading into Nebraska to take on Timu Patrick Mahomes. I don't care about Dylan Raiola. He's not that good. Michigan, ranked program. This is the team that's finally going to get things back on the right side of history after the whole Jim Harbaugh scandal, Shamar Moore, everything. Michigan is going to win this game. Starting that off as a slight favorite. Now we're going to move down south. Miami and Florida. Give me the Hurricanes. College game day. Those fans are going to be pumped. This is an alternate line. By the way, it's 7.5. I just like it 6.5 because then you can win by a touchdown and the favorite team still covers. So we're going Miami minus 6.5 at minus 164 on the alt line because DJ Lagway is not good. Watching that last game against LSU made my brain hurt, and I never want to have to bet on Florida ever again because that was just ugly. The Hurricanes and Carson Beck are going to win this one by at least a touchdown. Now we'll go back over. We talked about TCU a little bit earlier against SMU, and TCU had a really strong start to the season taking on North Carolina. Well, Chapel Hill has started to get back on track a little bit, but the biggest thing in all of those games is North Carolina puts up some points and they give up just as many, over 46.5 between UNC and UCF. Big matchup, minus 110. That was 47.5. Moved down a point. It means I'm even more confident in it. Why wouldn't I do that? 46.5 over. That's going to be a barn burner shootout between Tar Heels and the Knights. So now we got one more pick, and this one's going to be maybe not as thought about, not as picked a whole lot. JMU. How about JMU? James Madison over Liberty, 6.5 once again. We're going with the alt line to get that touchdown, 6.5. If they can win by a touchdown, that'll be big. That's the parlay. Overall, right around plus 800. I am a huge fan of this. We're going to put $10 on this to hit. Wins 90. That's a pretty good payout. That would be good. In my success, parlays are the way to go. Some people like to do straight bets. Some people don't. So you know what? Let's just look at everything. Let's take a look at all of the picks for this weekend. $10 down the board, best bets, and some of the biggest games of the week. Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Illinois, NC State moneyline, Missouri. Those are some big ones, $10 on each. I'm most confident. Then we'll take a look at some of the ones that maybe go according to plan, maybe not. That's why we only have 5 on it. Tulane and SMU, both to cover as dogs. Parlay, once again, I'll save the best for last, but parlay, $10 on those 4. Michigan, Miami minus 6.5, UNC, UCF over, JMU minus 6.5, and then the big one for all the glory, Cal Raleigh to win AL MVP at plus 280. That's it. That's what we have on Beat the Bookie today. These are the biggest picks. Now, AL MVP, gonna go all the way until mid-November when voting comes out. Everything else you'll have by the end of the weekend. It was so much fun to be here for Beat the Bookie. I'm Josh Richardson, signing off from our Citrus TV studios. Let's go make some money.